Breaking overnight, an Albuquerque man is in custody right now, accused of stabbing his own sister to death.
We're told the sister was only 18 years old. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is live in southwest Albuquerque near 98th and Tower, where police are still combing through the scene. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Crystal. You know, detectives have been out here since about 1 o'clock this morning, shortly after the call came in. You can see behind me that there is a lot going on. Not a whole lot of movement at the moment, but there is a crime scene unit back there, and lots of police officers have been walking around all morning just trying to figure out what happened. We're told that the scene inside the house is pretty bad.
When they entered the residence, they discovered a female that had been stabbed, and she had no signs of life.
That was after 1 this morning, after a call came in inside the home, the 10,000 block of John Cock. The caller told dispatch the 18-year-old woman had been stabbed and was barely breathing. When officers arrived, APD says that wasn't the case. So far, there is no exact motive in this case. All APD is saying is that the brother and sister got into an altercation, and that's when the brother stabbed her. APD did, however, confirm that she was stabbed at least once in the head, but because of the amount of blood on scene, there could be even more stab wounds we just don't know about quite yet. Now, APD says they're still waiting for the Office of the Medical Examiner, and detectives are expected to be out here for much of the morning. We'll have more information. We'll let you know what that is as soon as we get some more updates. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Catherine. Now, we're told the mother was at the house at the time. We are also working to get more information on the suspect. At this time, we do know that he is 21, but police have not released his name because he is yet to be charged. They also did not say if he has any type of criminal history. Now, police were again called to the scene after that 911 call. We'll tell you exactly who made that call in our next half hour.
Time now 6:04. The district attorney is reacting to a story News 13 broke earlier this week. And some might consider the video in this story hard to watch. We know that police body camera video shows an APD SWAT officer firing 3 beanbag rounds at a dead person's face, dead suspect's face, followed by a state police sergeant stomping on his groin. DA Carrie Brandenburg told News 13 that video is unbelievable and says that her office would look into whether criminal charges could be filed.
It's hard to believe that that would happen, but we saw that it happened, didn't we? We would look into that, and actually we have had conversations about that.
A medical investigator says the suspect killed himself. APD has refused multiple requests to talk about the case. State police, they're launching an investigation into the actions of that officer.
We turn now to this. Friends and family of the once missing Brittany Johnson will gather to remember her today. The 24-year-old was found by search and rescue teams near a cliff south of the Sandia Crest parking lot last weekend. Officials think her death was an accident as her body was found at the bottom of the cliff there. Autopsy results are still pending. Her memorial service will be today at 3 o'clock at the St. Luke's Lutheran Church, that's on Manal. Her family is asking, in lieu of flowers, people to donate to the search and rescue teams who helped look for her. We have that information on our KRQE News app.
APD SWAT team waited 9 hours for a woman to come out of a home, but it turns out she wasn't even in there. Police say Jessica Castillo was on drugs and capped off an argument by firing shots at 3 neighbors. It happened Tuesday near 59th and Central. Witnesses told police she ran inside, triggering that 9-hour SWAT standoff. But in the end, when APD went in, Castillo was not in that house. Neighbors weren't happy. Abby Reyes told KRQE she had to call into work, and Leticia Gallardo's kids had to miss school.
It was very, very hard. And then to know that she wasn't even in there.
At this point, police have not said which neighbors Castillo was fighting with or what the argument was about. Police say students broke into a school and trashed it as part of a senior prank. Pictures show the damage inside Roswell High School, everything from cow manure to graffiti. Officers responded to the alarm around 3 Monday morning and found a group of students near the school. They are waiting to hear from the school to decide if those kids will face charges.
There's a new tent city up and running this morning, but the homeless who just set it up near the Sunport at University near Rio Bravo, they have to pick up and leave once again in just a few days. The camper tells News 13 they were served with eviction notices yesterday, which means they have to be out by Tuesday. On to this, a happy ending to a story we first told you about this week about a thief who stole from a little boy's gravesite. Caught the attention of a lot of people. We told you about a solar panel that was stolen from Nico Chavez's gravesite at the San Acacia Cemetery. That's near Socorro. The 5-year-old who died in 2008 from flu and strep was afraid of the dark, so his family installed the solar panel to power night lights there. News 13 got calls and emails from people all over who wanted to replace it. And yesterday, we surprised the little boy's mother with a solar panel donated by a complete stranger.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm speechless. It takes all the horrible away. Thank you. Thank you. May God bless you, and thank you very much. You made my little boy happy.
And look at that smile there. Police have no leads as to who may have stole that solar panel.
Time now 6:07. We're taking a live look in Washington, D.C. this morning, where Senator Rand Paul gave up the Senate floor after 10 hours. He's ending what his office calls his filibuster over National Security Agency surveillance programs and the Patriot Act. Paul protested the NSA's dragnet surveillance programs targeting Americans. This week, the Senate is considering whether to reauthorize a crucial section of the Patriot Act. It could reform the law to rein in the government's power to collect phone data on millions. Last week, the House overwhelmingly approved a bill to reform that law.
New details this morning from Waco police. They say they've recovered 1,000 weapons following a deadly shooting there Sunday. That's ranging all the way from small pocket knives to large assault knives to an AK-47 rifle. Police say they found the weapons stashed all over the restaurant, including inside toilets and even inside bags of chips. 9 people were killed when the fight escalated to a gunfight. At least 170 people are in jail facing charges in connection to that shootout.
An officer caught on camera sleeping in his car while on the job is being investigated this morning. A Chicago man took this video with his cell phone and posted it on Facebook. He says he had seen that same officer napping before and was concerned because the officer wasn't patrolling. Chicago police say they've seen the video and the officer could end up facing disciplinary action in this.
What was he thinking? He's on a pretty busy street there.
Right on the curb. Somebody caught him.
And we start with breaking overnight news. A teen is dead after being stabbed. Police say the suspect is her own brother.
That man is now in police custody, and police confirm that he made the call to 911. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is live in southwest Albuquerque near 98th and Tower with what we know so far. Catherine?
Good morning, Adam. Police have been on scene for much of the morning, and they probably will be on scene for the rest of the morning, trying to figure out exactly what happened. Now, if you look behind me, you can see the police car, and obviously behind that, there's a crime scene van. They're still trying to figure out exactly what happened, gathering evidence from inside the home. They've been out here again since just after 1 this morning. That's when the suspect made a call to 911 saying he had just stabbed his sister. Police tell us she was 18. APD says when officers arrived at the home on the 10,000 block of Johncock, she wasn't breathing and showed no signs of life. APD did confirm, however, that she was stabbed at least once in the head, but there could be more stab wounds. Detective described the inside of the house as gruesome. So far, we have no motive in this case. This is all APD will say about what led up to the deadly stabbing.
The brother and sister engaged into some kind of altercation, and the brother landed up stabbing his sister.
Now, I talked to someone just a little while ago. He says he is the father of one of the victim's friends. He says he was shocked. He was visibly emotional and said he was shocked to hear that this could happen. He said the two went to school together at West Mesa. Now, APD says they're still waiting for the Office of the Medical Investigator, and like I said before, they'll probably be out here for much of the morning. We'll continue to bring you updates as we get more information. Back to you.
All right, Catherine, thank you. The mother, by the way, was home at the time. We're working to get more information on the suspect. Right now, we do know that he is 21, but police have not released his name because he's yet to be charged. They also did not say if he has any type of criminal history.
And happening in just hours, the Bernalillo County District Attorney is expected to hold a news conference. The DA is speaking out after the Attorney General said his office would not prosecute her for bribery.
I didn't do anything that I believe was unethical. I didn't do anything that even came close to that.
APD forwarded its bribery case against Brandenburg to the Attorney General in November. She's accused of reimbursing her son Justin's alleged burglary victims if they would not press charges. Now, last week, Attorney General Hector Balderas determined the case against the DA was a dud, but did say Brandenburg's actions did not look good. Valderas also slammed APD, saying it only pressed a case after Brandenburg made it known that she was pursuing murder charges against 2 APD officers in the shooting death of James Boyd. The AG called APD's actions politically motivated.
I have referred this to the feds for an investigation, and because of that I'm somewhat limited as to what I can say. I would just simply stand by what the Attorney General said. I believe it's political.
So last week, Police Chief Gordon Eden denied that the investigation was politically motivated. The mayor's office says the chief and mayor are open to meeting with Brandenburg. You can watch the full 36-minute interview with the DA on our KRQE News app.
New this morning, a judge has given the mother of a 6-year-old girl allegedly taken by her father permission to leave the state. Police say Ariana Lopez was taken from a church earlier this month by her father. The 6-year-old was missing for about a week. Her father, Abelino Lopez, returned her. He's now facing 2 felony charges. According to the Albuquerque Journal, a judge will allow Ariana's mother to take both of her daughters out of state temporarily. The judge could decide whether to make the order permanent sometime in mid-July.
New questions are being raised about the death of 13-year-old Dylan Redwine. Dylan's mother and brother appeared on Dr. Phil again. And once again, they're pointing the finger at Dylan's father.
I believe that he was moved.
What do you think, Corey?
I think he went up and recollected and tried to get rid of as much evidence as he could.
Dylan went missing in 2012 during a court-ordered visit with his father, Mark Redwine. Dylan's partial remains were later found in a remote area near Durango. Mark went on Dr. Phil back then, denying he had anything to do with his son's death. He did the same yesterday.
I don't owe the nation an explanation as to what I'm doing. Dylan is my son.
No, you owe Dylan that explanation.
So Dr. Phil offered to fly a polygraph expert to give Redwine a test. Once again, he declined.
Some teachers are letting everyone know that they are upset with controversial state evaluations by burning them outside of the Albuquerque School Board meeting. Yesterday, about 36 teachers spoke before lighting their evaluations on fire. The state's teacher evaluation system went into effect last school year, but many teachers don't like it. They say it relies too heavily on test scores. The state maintains the evaluations hold teachers accountable.
There will be extra security at this weekend's motorcycle rally in Red River. The Taos News says several hundred Bandidos members take part in the annual event. More than 50 New Mexico officers will be on the lookout for any trouble. The concern stems from last weekend's biker gang shootout near Waco, Texas. Remember, 9 people were killed. At least 170 people were arrested.
Happening right now as we take a live look over Washington, D.C. Police say they've identified a suspect in a mysterious quadruple murder. Police are now looking for this man, 34-year-old Darren Dylan Wint. According to Washington Post reporters, authorities say they matched Wint to DNA found on the crust of a Domino's pizza ordered to a house last week. At the time, Savopoulos, his wife, young son, and housekeeper were tortured and killed. Investigators are also looking into the possibility a $40,000 extortion payment was made before those people were found dead and before the murders.
So many people are still confused this morning about whether they're affected by the largest auto recall in history. The recall of 33.8 million vehicles involves airbags built by Japan's Takata Corporation. Humidity can cause the airbags to send metal shrapnel into the air. The defect has been linked to at least 6 deaths so far, more than 100 injuries.
A stroll down the block quickly turned deadly for a group of people in China. It was all caught on camera right here. Officials say strong wind blew down that wall, causing it to collapse on people walking by. 1 person died on scene, another at the hospital. 7 others were hurt. Witnesses helped the survivors while first responders rushed to the scene. How frightening.
Absolutely.
Really shocking, those moments when that fell.